Get ready. I've been talking about this on my dailies. I think I mentioned it on my moon messages. Aries, get ready. Because on September 9th, Mars is retrograding in Aries. So it's home. It's where it feels the most powerful, and yet it's going into a retrograde stage. Where it's at home and where it feels most powerful, it will don't be surprised if your energy feels a little bit diminished, or if you just don't feel like putting that much energy into things. You may gain, because you're Aries, you may gain a lot of insight into how you have been wasting your energy and how you have been frustrating yourself by giving too much importance to things that don't mean anything for your future or for your long term. It will become painfully clear over the next almost 2 months. No, 2.5 months. Because it's till the end of November that Mars will be retrograding in Aries. So prepare yourself to feel a little bit like, like you just don't want to get out of bed. Your energy is going to be down. But at the same time, it can and will, listen to the sirens are just alerting you. They're just screaming at you. It will give you insight into, because you're feeling a little bit depleted, and because maybe you're quick to temper, you're finding things very frustrating. If they start, or people around you start things, they will not finish them, or you'll have a hard time finding ways to get people to finish, or get yourself to finish. What it's going to do, hopefully, is force you to start prioritizing and see, what are those things that really give you energy? What are those things that do energize you and aren't just constantly draining you? Because you're not going to have enough energy to compensate for those things that constantly drain you. And so that's when they will become very evident, very highlighted, and very clear what is demanding too much of your energy. That is the upside. That is a wonderful way for you to understand this Mars in retrograde that you're going to be experiencing. Everybody will be experiencing it, but you especially. And it's a wonderful way for you to use it positively, to say, you know what, if it takes this much effort, maybe it gets dropped off my roster, because if I have to expend so much, I didn't even realize how much energy I was putting into this thing just to make it happen, just to make it work. It's going to become painfully clear. For the first part of this retrograde, Mars will be squared to Venus. So there will be conflict, contradiction, contrast. There will be sort of this kind of heightened sense of tension, maybe in your love life, in your love world, between you and your divine masculine or divine feminine. But it could very well highlight those aspects that are problem and quarrelsome between you. I know that Mercury is finally leaving Virgo and going into Libra. So it will make you so in terms of being conscientious about diplomacy, about making things work, but also having pretty high standards in terms of how things look and how they present themselves. It's like you won't be able to drop that standard. Your standards in partnership will become articulated. And maybe that could cause some of those clashes, but it also could create some relevance, right? Some relevance toward your relationships, and really kind of make things clear about what's working and what's not. Another big thing that you have to be aware of is, while Mars is in retrograde in Aries, it will be squaring both Saturn, which is retrograde in Capricorn, and Pluto, which is retrograde in Capricorn. And those are the dharmic and karmic masters. They are the judge. They are the judge and the jury, and they are the rememberers. So they're what's taking stock of your action during this time. And I mean, you could show up really tired and they're not going to care. They're still going to expect you to be on your best performance. So this is a test phase for you for the next 2.5 months. And it's not going to be an easy time, but you can make it to be one of the most enlightening, exposing, and utilitarian time, especially when it comes to weeding out those things in your life that you do not, that are draining you, That is exactly, and streamlining, especially streamlining. That's especially where this energy could be best applied positively. So watch out for that September 9th. That's when it goes, I apologize. That's when it goes retrograde. And yeah, don't be surprised if you feel that energy drain and you feel that almost it kicks in your mind all of a sudden to be like, do I really want to do this? If I'm feeling drained, then maybe I need to kick back on doing this, and this, because it doesn't give me anything back. And I feel too drained to tolerate it right now. And that'll really help you streamline your life. Hold on. Okay. So we begin with your channeled messages, but predominantly through this Beyond Lemuria deck. This meaning of energy, your energetic state, these messages that have to get to you, or hopefully will clarify things for you. Home. Now, this is so clearly, home is where the heart is. And sometimes, Aries, things matter a lot to you. They matter so much to you. And I think this is a sense of be closer to the home space. Be closer to your heart space. If your energy is going to start to be run down and start to kind of get kicked down a couple of notches, this is a really great time to be and allow yourself to be where you are most comfortable, who you are most comfortable around. Allow yourself to spend more time at home. Don't push yourself to go out. There is a sense of allow yourself to be loved. This also came out, loving compassion, and I can't help but think these two are going to be working together for you to be loving and compassionate to yourself and not be demanding so much. Be gentle, be kind, and don't be irreverent or demanding when it comes to pushing right now. This is the time to push yourself to get clear on what's important and what's not. It's not a time to push yourself to use those, to have the energy you used to have. Like, oh, I used to be able to do this. Why can't I do it now? Or I used to love going out all this time. Or I used to go to the gym 7 days a week. Why don't I feel? It's not a good time to do that now. Your body is telling you, or reacting to the universe's turning off the gas valve a little bit, right? Pumping down the octane. So allow yourself to take it a little bit slower, take it a little bit easier, and listen to your heart. It's going to be so imperative right now to get closer to this sense of love and understanding. You will be more vulnerable. Considering Mars, for me, represents the divine masculine, which I could be wrong about, but it does. In my channeling, it always does. And this is almost like the divine masculine becoming a little bit more vulnerable. And so expect that. Sacral chakra, core of creation. Yes, something inflaming you, something inspiring you. And like I said in the earlier channeled message, it's going to become very, very evident what really lights your fire. Easy to burn really bright when these things are around. And there does seem to be a divine feminine, something coming opposite you, a connection that could be about somebody who is very compassionate and loving towards you. And that kind of compassion, don't be surprised if it really turns you on, right? Gentleness may not be normally what turns you on, but it is this wonderful gentleness and tenderness that kind of is turning you on right now. Throat chakra. Interesting how you have that gut chakra and then your throat chakra. So speak your mind. Mercury will be in a strong position. He'll be in an air sign, Libra, soon enough. I think it's on September 6th. So be prepared. Be prepared to hear somebody say really strong things to you. Speak very confidently, but speak very confidently on behalf of the partnership and be able to articulate those things that are necessary and needed. Now, this is a really interesting card that came out for you because this is about childhood innocence and newly reincarnated souls. And if you know anything about the zodiac, Aries marks the beginning. So it is the newest. You are the newest of the new. So I know these messages are for you about what really, really matters to you and getting to the heart of yourself. This is almost like a starting over period, a refreshing period to help wind you down, rip away your ego, and get you back to the core of your existence and why you're here. So I think there was a fighting and there was a struggle with you. There was so much of a struggle with you, Aries. Mostly internal, but it was becoming external. Go back and watch last week's video. It will make sense to you a lot more. So this is getting back to your sense of self, 1111, awakening to that gentle, what really matters kind of energy for you. And oh my God, it would be so clear as to who really cares about you and who you can really trust when you are diminished, when you are slowing down. These are the people that will shine out in your life the most. Let's get into the main reading. Okay. Now, we start off with the koi fish energy, which is koi fish spirit is Piscean energy. And it's really interesting that this is in reverse. So Neptune is also in retrograde. There's so many planets in retrograde. And of course, Mars just going to join them. Like, I swear to God, by the end of this year, like all these friggin' planets have been in retrograde. Not literally, but most of them. It's crazy. So this is a sense of impatience, a sense of not being completed or not being filled up, because it's in reverse. There's a sense of discomfort, distrust, knowing something is wrong here. And then we have nothing is wasted, vulture energy, Aquarian energy, also in reverse, a sense of being wasted, feeling overlooked, feeling like somebody has taken advantage of you and not really used you to your highest potential, seen your highest potential, or acknowledged your highest potential. It's also a sense of getting outside of your soul purpose. So this, throwing away intuition, not listening to intuition, or let's put it this way, getting what you've been paranoid about, paranoia confused for intuition. This sense of misinterpreted value has caused an issue. It's caused an issue. It's something that has happened in the past. You could have been dealing with a Sagittarius, a very unreliable, sporadic energy that was a pain in the butt. Somebody who, could be a very positive energy, but it's also very foxy, very clever, very manipulative, very strategic in that it is intentionally using sleight of hand. So giving you one thing, saying one thing, and then turning around and doing another. And the whole reason is because it's trying to press you and push you into where it wants to go. Yeah, and I know this because we have wasp energy, wasp spirit right afterward. This is scorpionic energy, something that's bugging you, something that's on your mind, something that you can't lie settled, let rest. But it's you attempted to bury it. It's like the needling is not allowing you to move on or let things go. So this would be nagging. Somebody who's constantly nagging you, needling, nagging you, trying to get you to either wake up and listen and understand something, or just trying to sort of push you into a direction that is works for them, or that they think is right. This is, or it could be you trying to impress upon another. Love is all around. This is Nightingale energy, using love more as a manipulation tool, as a reason to push and prod somebody into the direction that is most comfortable for them or for you. This is Gemini energy, so it's a sense of filling somebody's ears with everything that they want to hear. Kind messages, gentle messages, inspirational messages. It could also be being a cheerleader, like believing in somebody so much that it starts to sound like nagging, and it starts to feel like this person is expecting, it's misinterpreted. This person is expecting too much from me. Maybe I don't want to go down this path, or it's, the compliments are starting to sound like nagging. It's starting to feel like an obligation. But then we have slow and steady wins the race, which is Cancerian energy. It's very meditative. It's very confident in itself. It feels really strong about itself, and it's really certain about its direction. This is matured energy, so it carries its weight very, very well. A strong stance to have emotionally. So there is a sense of whoever is stronger in a relationship or in a situation, they're the ones driving the pathway. If you're dealing with a Scorpio, there is a sense of letting them take the lead, or a Cancer, letting them take the lead, listening to them, or letting them be the outward voice of the circumstance or of the relationship. But there is this watch and wait, this Piscean energy, just being very gentle. This is father energy as well. This is an energy that is extremely, it's a male, but it's a very feminine male. Not effeminate, but its feminine nature is more to take care of, lend a hand, help, love, nurture. So this is a man that is very devoted to partnership. Now this also could be in other words, all this could mean that your energy is slowing down to the point where you are more accepting of people's quirks, more accepting of people's nagging, accepting their love even when they're more irritating, being more patient with somebody. But this is really focusing on and having patience with the relationship, with things that are not so clear right now. There could be a lot of different issues that have built up, and now you have the patience to actually deal with them. Let's get this focused. There you go. You have the patience to now actually deal with them. This is also, though, I really don't like this energy for you, maybe because it's so different for you, but I'm feeling a little bit uncomfortable because it almost feels like you're tolerating too much, you're putting up with too much from some aspect in your life. It does not necessarily have to be a romantic relationship. It's almost like somebody is using their flattery and using your emotional connection to them to push you into the direction that is right for them. This is an older person who is very wise and does know what the fuck they're doing. Just an FYI. So it's either you doing that to somebody or somebody doing that to you. Trust in the magic is here as White Ravens. This is a new beginning, a new start, somebody who's fresh, somebody who's green, somebody who's wet behind the ears, somebody who just started out and doesn't have all that wisdom. They don't really know much at all. This isn't about lack of intellect. This is about lack of experience. And I think that's what's really important here. There's a sense of putting a lot of weight on somebody who is not capable of taking it. They have a very public-oriented mind, service-driven mind. This is Aquarius energy too, but it's almost like it's naivete. It's driven by naivete. This person, this is the energy of putting yourself into a cause or caring about something that you don't even really know much about, but suddenly it becomes so important to you. This energy, however, it's like having a lot of energy and a lot of enthusiasm towards something, but not having the experience or the know-how to really understand how to move anything forward. So this is either your energy, like I said, or an energy that you're dealing with. And this is where I really get into this sense of very much manipulation. So this is scorpionic energy. This is definitely pulling somebody's strings, driving them along, tagging them along with you, being the weaver, being the intender, being the one that wants to take somebody to in a certain direction, away from where they feel comfortable, being taken out of your comfort zone. It could even be the universe taking you out of your comfort zone. Of course, this is grandmother energy and mother energy, Cancerian energy, and scorpionic energy. Grandmothers are often represented by spiders, and this is be at home. Something could very well be happening in terms of your grandmother or your mother. Something could be, I don't know, attacking them. There could be health issues coming back from the past, things that were overlooked or were not addressed. This could be coming into the forefront right now, learning that this could be poor health. It could also be lack of support. So it's either poor health in one of these individuals in your life, or that has happened before. Learn from the past, and maybe you will be upset with them and get mad at them, because the truth is they should have known that this would come back if they behaved in a certain way, and they didn't listen. They continued to do something that was unhealthy for them, and that's why they're back in this circumstance again. And it's really heartbreaking and scary, and reacting to that fear is sort of compromising the way that you talk to them. So this could be, really being pissed at them or acting out in anger, because the truth is you're upset and you're worried. This is but this, of course, could also be not learning from the past, being reckless with your heart, being very stubborn and almost stuck in a circumstance that does not serve you. And that basically it's almost like you're manipulating yourself. You're creating this circumstance. You're creating everything. The home that the spider built, they build it all. They're responsible for everything. And it doesn't, it just never feels like the home that you want it to, because you don't have the partnership and you don't have the help. There is this weakened sense of help. There is this naive and unexperienced sense of community right now. This almost like ideal that could never be real. Yeah. Really interesting. Watch and wait and embrace the in-between. I really can't wait to hear what tarot says. That link is below, but I'm going to run through angel messages for you right now. So hang around. Aries. These messages, they had a lot to say for you. A lot. Quickly. So the first angel messages that we get, that I get, are surrender. There is no point in pushing the barrow up such a steep hill. And that was part of the channeled message as well, of really understanding and starting to see, Aries, you've been working too hard on something that has been getting you nowhere. Please see that now and learn to have more compassion for yourself, respect yourself more, and hold on to that precious energy. Go back to the start. Surrender your expectations. There is an easier way. When the time is right, a new path will appear. So this is about being kind of passively active and receptive and opening yourself up to the answers or even to new ideas, because the way that you've been trying it has not been working. Divine intervention. Whoa. You may feel frustrated because something stalls or comes to a standstill. Progress seems painfully slow. This is this is amazing. These are your messages. Yet this is a blessing. It is divine intervention at work. When the timing is in perfect harmony, all will come to fruition. And I also heard, all that doesn't come to fruition was not meant to be. Like I said, this is the elimination round. So those things that are expending too much of your energy, and it could not be, it may not be a person or a thing. It may be a process, like something that you thought was working and you dedicated yourself to this process, but it's not working. And it's going to become very, very evident of how do I find a different way to go about this, especially if it's had to do with a lot of manipulation or trying really, really hard to like motivate somebody that doesn't seem to want to be motivated, or having to be the entire motivation yourself. Okay. Oh no, we really do have to get to tarot. We really, really do. And I think that that's what the cards are telling me, because these cards are not, they usually come out and fling themselves out. But it's a very precise message for you right now. A few did come out, so let's get into those. Diversity is here. The world would be a boring place if we were all the same. Celebrate your uniqueness. You are special and much loved. Nothing about you to change. Nothing about you that has to be surrendered for fitting in. Don't dim to fit in. I feel like that was part of last week's message too. Truth comes out. The best way through the current situation is to just speak your truth. And with Mercury in Libra, it's going to actually become easier for you to be honest, especially if you are in a partnership, or if you're with your flock, so your family, and those little things that have been building up and really frustrating you about your family. You'll finally be able to articulate that in a way that is honest and truthful, and may not be comfortable, but it will definitely set things in motion to help clear the air. Contrary to what you may think, no one will be hurt if you express exactly how you feel. I think it'll actually be a relief. That's what I'm hearing. It's almost like they know what you felt, and they were becoming more resentful that you were holding back. It was almost felt like it was becoming more disrespectful and condescending for you to not be honest with them. So the truth will actually be like a relief valve. And then last but not least, and this is the quiet time that you spend with yourself, prayer. No matter how difficult the situation may seem, all is possible. Ask. We are listening. So Aries, reach out for help. Don't try to do it all yourself. This is the lesson that you're being put through over the next 2.5 months, is to not try to take all that work on by yourself. You have a team around you of spirit and angels. Go ask them for help, especially during this Piscean energy where the full moon is shining really brightly. That was yesterday, tonight, and tomorrow. Please go ahead and just ask, because now that the veil has thinned, it's so easy for angels to hear you. So please, please, please go ahead and don't be scared. Ask for what it is that you need. Pray to the angels, and then let them guide you as to how to manifest this in the 3D. Let's get to the juicy. Let's get to the dirt. We're going to go over to tarot. That link is below. I'll talk to you guys in the extended.